I gotta always ask y'all kids that type of stuff.
You know he was raised properly.
Okay.
You know he was
I just
raised
want to
properly.
check. All right, we're back. Episode 71 or 70, I believe, at A.M.University. I'm your host, Antoine Miller. Finally, we finally figured out a time, man, that we all could get up, man. Very appreciative of this, first and foremost, about just a lot of important subjects that, you know, people just don't talk about enough, in my opinion. But first and foremost, first team All-State, NJ.com Player of the Year, TOC champion, preseason #1 ranked in the country by Max Preps, North Carolina commit, Roselle Catholic guard, Sim Wilcher. What's up, brother?
What's up, boss?
How you living?
Good.
Pleasure. We talked about this on the phone. When you see Serg Wilcher, looks can be very. It can perceive a lot of things. I'm gonna just say that and leave it at that. Very involved in his son's life, which is why I'm really excited to have you on the show. But I just want to hear you talk, man. I just want to hear you talk because I know the world can think a lot of things that I'm almost certain that is just perception, is not the reality of things. You know, you got a lot deeper reasoning why, you know, things happen, and I'm just happy to get you on camera and expand on that. So,
Absolutely.
Serg Wilcher.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you, brother. Nice to meet you.
And I appreciate you being patient.
No. I get it. We're gonna get into it, man, because this high school thing is a whole different monster now in 2022. But let me start with Sim, right? So, as a coach, I always especially kids in my area, I always dissected kids that, you know, either got a ranking or got noticed, you know, without, and I'm not talking about you, but any name that I hear, without doing anything, I'm like, let me pay this kid a little closer attention and see if it's legit, right? So since freshman year, you've been ranked pretty high. COVID kind of, in a way, X'd out your freshman and sophomore year, but I still watch. You know, from freshman year, you playing with your older brother, Corey and Cliff, and I'm like, for a freshman, you know, it's just not normal. You know, it's getting more normal that ninth graders is playing in varsity freshman year and producing, but it's not normal. I was like, he carries himself pretty well. Sophomore year, I was like, he got a little better. Junior year, took a massive leap in your game individually, grew a little bit. I was like, that's impressive. Did he plateau? This is things I'm just thinking in my head. Was he gonna get even better than that? AAU this past summer, just pure domination, and I'm like, he got even better. And I say all that to say this, right? What I've seen from kids from your generation, when you're on top or you're already successful, y'all cool with that. Like, y'all not really looking to expand your game and get better, right? But I see you've gotten incrementally better every single year. What is your motivation for that? Because just your generation as a whole, they just content with things, right? No one wants to maximize their ability and be the best that they can be in any facet of life, from what I see. What's your motivation for continuing to just work on your game and get better day by day by day?
It's kind of simple. I just feel like I haven't done anything yet to really be like, oh yeah, I'm set, and like they're not as comfortable as I want them to be. So I got a lot more that I got to do, a lot more stuff I have to handle, so that can come to fruition. Because like, if I feel like right now, if I was to take how my game is right now and put myself at the highest level where I want to be, I don't think I'm exactly where I would want to be. So every day, like, we gotta do something to add to that, because that's our ultimate goal, is to get to that 3-letter league. So
expand on that, brother. Just as a dad, you know, looking at that, I'll expand on this in the next question, but it's just not normal for us growing up in the inner city to having a pops that can guide you throughout this journey, right? Like mom's beautiful, right? Moms do everything that they can do.
Right.
But it's a man's responsibility, especially in the sports world, to say, okay, son, this is good, but
yeah, we're never comfortable. Watching the plateauing of athletes is something that you're absolutely right. They do it. We see it all the time. You think you've gotten to a place where you made it, you know, and we've always remind him. I have my own ways of reminding him, like, bro, we ain't done nothing yet. So if you've done this, you've gotten to this place, doing what we've done this far. So what happened when we do it with more purpose or with intent? Sometimes they just need somebody to put it in context for them. You know what I mean? It's not that they just think they made it. It's people that telling that. You have people that telling these kids they pros. Right now, a kid over there, somebody in there, yo, Sim, you're a pro. Oh, Sim, he's a pro. Well, what type of pro you gonna be? You gonna play for the Bulls, or you gonna play in Istanbul? You know what I mean? They all pay.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's the thing. You just don't get comfortable. As far as having a dad, you know, that's what I do best, man. That was, I ain't grow up knowing I wanted to be a doctor or anything. You know, I became a dad at 24, and I was like, all right, this is my gig. This is my shtick. You know, I had a tumultuous relationship with basketball in high school. You know what I mean? Like, I could count the games my dad came to. You know what I mean? Never had any activity in reference to that sport with him, like, come on, we're gonna go and do this or do that. And that's cool because at the time it was different. And then you gotta look at where he come from. Did he have a dad to do that for him? You know what I'm saying? But
expand on this in a way, because, like, again, like when I was doing the introduction, I said, you know, a lot of people that don't know you will see you on the sidelines, very boisterous, very engaged with the team and with Sim, and just the whole thing that's happening with Sim's career, right? And you know how the world goes. You could see it as cocky, or you could see it as, why don't this guy be quiet, or so on and so on and so on and so on. And part of why I wanted to sit down with you, even when I saw you in Camden High's gymnasium, nothing changed about you. You was still the same guy with that competitive spirit. But I'm still gonna protect my son and love my son from this place. Clear that up for people that see that, because again, I see a guy that's just showing love in his own way.
see, first of all, I just want to tell people, see, I love basketball. You know what I mean? First and foremost, I love basketball. You know, and I've said that a lot lately because sometimes people love what comes with basketball, the business of basketball. I love basketball at its purest. Okay. So when my kids decided they didn't want to play it, you know, I walked into this thing eyes wide shut. You know, I didn't know how to work AAU stuff and all that. You know what I'm saying? So then as you sit there and you go through it, you start seeing how it goes. And just in life in general, it's preface to me being who I am on the sideline. You know, it's a lot of noise. You know, you get, even when you're young, you know, you kids, you get this kid. I had a coach tell me, and CJ was in the 4th grade, he was going to be a Division II basketball player.
4th grade?
In the 4th grade. He was able to tell me that. And I was amazed by that. So now I'm just sitting here and I'm just listening, and I'm listening to these guys' perceptions and how they try to mold and create these environments based on relationships they have or what they may feel they can benefit by attaching themselves to a kid. So, you know, I just wanted to love mine out loud. I just love my kids out loud, bro. A lot of them people that they'll say, oh, they don't like me or they don't talk to me, they kids do. They kids mess with me, man. I talk to them after games, I talk to them through games. You know what I'm saying? I don't talk bad about people's kids during the game. I don't disparage kids or like, oh, he's stuck. Nah, I'm just loving mine out loud because I need them to be focused and only worried about seeking affirmation from those that love them. And so to block out the noise, I became the noise. You know what I mean? So now when you go out here and you in the middle of this gym, and look at where my kids went to school. We go to Roselle Catholic. Every game we have is like a road game. Every other team has more fans in there than we do. You know what I mean? So then you know how the violent vitriol is, and people with rivalries and so-called. There's some real tough stuff going on in there, and that rough energy in there. So if I could be a beacon for my kids and his teammates, why not? It works. I'm the same dude in practice. You know what I mean? They'll tell you, practice. I'm lit, I'm on one, sweating my shirt out in practice. And whether it was when they played football, whether they ran track, whether they threw the shot put, I was the same person. I'm all right with it. It works. We won a lot of basketball games. You know what I'm saying? I tease people all the time, I'm plus 10 when I walk in the gym, and they know it, and they don't really like it at all. They can admit to it, you know I'm plus 10.
How does it make you feel, you know, knowing that you got your dad right over your shoulder, you know, with this whole path that you're running? Because like I said, like, this high school world is crazy right now.
It gives me like just knowing I have like a foundation. Like, regardless of, like, I could be going through it in the game, and all I need is like him, like, just like well, I'll say during Peace Jam, we was playing against Georgia Stars, having a rough first half, and then like just hearing him, he telling me what to do, and like just feeling like you could just you all right. End up having a whole different second half, and like. He just, like he said, he's like basically just put a battery in your back. Like when you know somebody on the sideline will run up and down the sideline just to make sure that you locked in and you excited and you don't got your head down and your crown always stay up. Like it's something that not a lot of people can do, because a lot of other people's parents just sit in the bleachers and just clap whenever they do something good. Like he gonna get on me if I do something good. He gonna get on me if I do something bad. If I do something good, he gonna tell me, all right, you could have did it better anyway. Like, but it's like it gives me some type of like stability when I'm out there, especially playing in like the crowds that we play in. Like everybody ain't like people there. They ain't here for me. So they gonna try to do whatever they could do to get me off my game. So just knowing that I got somebody that help me relock in if anything was to happen, it's good.
You took the words right out of my mouth listening to both of y'all speak. What about the kids that don't even have support in the stands, let alone a dad? Right? How many kids do you take in from that standpoint that look at you as a dad figure and things like that? This is some real
all of them that will accept, bro. Like that's just what I do. That's just what we do. You know what I mean? Like, you see it. It happens. It impacts. And I see how it impacts my kids. That's my job. You know what I mean? That's my passion. You know, I'm gonna help kids. I'm gonna help them for as long as I'm on this planet. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have a lot of dads. You know what I mean? Listen, we came back from Peace Jam. I'm going to a memorial. A friend of mine passed. You know, his brother had passed. So I'm on the other side of town. You know what I mean? You know, other side of town.
Yep.
And I'm walking into the back of the venue. A cat walk up to me, you know, outside. He come up to me and say, "Yo, Serg, I'm gonna start over." I said, "What you mean, bro?" He said, "If I had a dad like you, I wouldn't be out here." I had to go sit in my car for a minute. He was dead serious. "Come on, let's drink some of this Remy." You know what I'm saying? But that's a real thing, bro. And I see that. Like I said, I walked in with 2-3 kids. I stayed with kids with me because you know what? They were Sim, they his friends. They need that. Somebody need a hug. You know, if you notice, every time I see kids, I hug kids. Sometimes they ain't never had a hug from a man that don't want nothing from them. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? I don't know none of no weirdo pedophilia shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come here. And you watch, you see me, kids that play on your team, kids that play down there. Shit, come on, man. We was just down at Hoop Group. I'm out front with DJ, Aaron, Sion, Book. Me and Book, Dad talk down there every day on social media, or pick up the phone and call him. We were going through stuff. I could reach out to him, he could reach out to me. That's what it's supposed to be about. You know what I mean? So any kid that I see that any needy support, or if it's on our team, if it's one of his friends, or if somebody that reach out, I get people in my DM, I get moms that reach out to me. I'm on it every time. Every time.
Yeah, yeah. I don't even have anything to add to that. Speaking of which, obviously you guys know I'm from Camden, born and raised and things like that. I feel when sports is at its peak, right, it's rivalries. You know what I mean? It's not just teams just beating the brakes off of people by 50. It's boring, bro. On all levels of basketball and sports in general. Since you've been in high school, you know, Camden, Roselle, like every single game, it's like this close, you know. It's been magical to watch it over the years. I know you in it. I don't even know if you have time to reflect on it, but watching two powerhouse programs like really compete, and it could be a flip of a coin on who's winning this and winning that. Like, seriously, man, like it's been a joy to watch, and I think New Jersey has been privy to some amazing basketball. Getting rid of the TOC is a whole nother conversation. I don't even know if I want to go down that road.
That's a whole series.
It'll make me. But speak on that rivalry for a second. You know, what is meant to you? You know, how it's molded you into what you are now, as far as a basketball player. Just speak on that rivalry and how you felt about that going on through your years.
I could say, playing against Camden, it's always a good game every time we play them. So it's exciting when we play them, knowing that like our team, we got a whole bunch of nice players, and they got a whole bunch of nice players, and we both in Jersey. Like, that's what we mean. Like, Jersey basketball is really where it's at. And then, like, over the years, it's just been getting better. Like, the game's just been getting better and better. I remember playing in my freshman year. We played them, lost to them. We didn't play them sophomore year due to the COVID thing, and then last year, both games was like neck and neck. And they were super intense, super competitive games, and like, I could just say I love playing and stuff like that, especially like, and they don't get it. And I feel like Camden fans, they get you prepared for college too. It don't get more crazy than Camden fans.
That's a good one.
Camden High fans, but you gotta love it though, cause nobody else, you can't say nobody else love their school more than Camden.
What? Bro, listen, we in Tom's River. I'm sitting, now we're watching the Sunrise game. Now I'm sitting here under the basket. It's Aaron, AB's mom, Coach Brunson's family. So we watching the game, conversation, talking. So I get up, after the game ends, our game is next. I'm walking over to talk to him, and there was a Camden fan looked up. She looked at me, she said, "You a hater." I said, "Why?" I was just sitting over there talking. You was probably over there running your mouth. I said, I'm hugging, glad-handing and all this over here. Me and Brunson laughing. I said, yo, it's just that intense. And you know what? I knew it was going to happen when they were in the 8th grade.
Really?
Bro, we down at Made Hoops, the finale Made Hoops down in Augusta. Him and DJ in the 8th grade. You know, I'm running back and forth because CJ's playing EYBL. I'm running from there, so I'm coming to his game after leaving there. And every time I walk in the gym, I hear his name or DJ's name. And then you hear, man, they both from Jersey. Then you hear, yo, this one's better than that one. That one's better than this one. I said, I got to deal with this for 4 years when I get home? Bro, we didn't even get home good. You know what I'm saying? And then now you took at these two kids. Now, when you say rivalry,
and can we clear this up?
What you got?
Yo, everybody swears since we go at it when we hoop, that is beef. Bro, that is just on the court. It's just competitive. That is just on the court. Like, off the court, it is cool. Ain't nothing, like, that's whack. Like, that is whack. I'm not doing that. That's whack. Why you going to carry that off the court? Like, keep that in between the lines. And it's never no, like, but
bro, see, because you're talking about a generation, of kids that haven't gone outside and play outside in the park and wait and compete, and that is different. You have everybody gets a trophy. You have parents want to impose themselves and put the kids in situations that are not competitive just for them to win. And so when it's a whole conditioning. You know what I mean? The sissification of American males is really what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, so you're not supposed to be emotionally excited in an event like that. Like, you know, so I watch ref call technical fouls in games, and I'm like, over a certain, I'm like, bro, where are you at? Are you not paying attention to what's going on in here? You know what I mean? It's not that they don't know how to associate it with anything else, huh? You know what I'm saying? If you that's an old school mentality. You know what I mean? Where we can go out here, we can bang, and then we gonna walk home and eat lunch, do whatever. You know what I mean? Hang out off of that. That's all that is. You just can't expect people to know what they don't know.
Yeah, it'll probably never come from you two as individuals, but you got 75 people over there that will start something and say this and then that and then that. And like, oh my God, they want to fight each other. Did you hear that? They said they was gonna meet, like, just the most outlandish things. But that's your generation, bro. But even you saying that shows the maturation of yourself and the foundation that you have. You know, to understand, like, let's put this in perspective, bro. When we on the court, we competing. That's it.
And when you sit, like, to me, and then now people worried about that. I'm sitting here, like on like from 30,000 feet. I'm sitting here observing, and I'm looking at this like, yo, man, you talking about these two kids created all this energy. Keep it 100. Rivalries are usually regionally based, teams that play each other regularly. Before 2019, 2020, when did they play? You know what I'm saying? That was the whole DJ Sim thing that, bro, that's major. You know what I mean? That these two young men.
I thought about that before calling it a rivalry.
No, it's cool. See, because, you know, because they created that.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Their skill sets allowed the room, that someone to create that in that room, temperature in the room, to maximize what it did. And look what it did. You know, you guys both played on nationally ranked teams throughout your tenure in high school. Who can say that?
Right.
You know, you guys have regenerated basketball in a basketball state. You know what I mean? A basketball-driven society. You guys had it lit. You know what I mean? Just two kids. You know what I mean? Like, that's just a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? Those are the things I sit back in and I appreciate. Those are the things that I'm like, yo, what's going to happen when you go home? No, you're not going to be able to tell your own story. You know what I'm saying? So I tell them all the time, what are they going to say about Sim and Wilcher, you know, when it's over with? You know what I'm saying? Not like you're looking to rush that, or not like I'm doing things every day based on, like, I just want to create a good legacy. But I do believe in creating good energy. You know what I mean? So when you do that, you know.
I mean, you got to stand for something, though. It's just like when you walk in the gym, again, watching you in Camden High's gymnasium, the first game ever in the new gymnasium, on ESPN, watching your demeanor, you're the same guy, right? Like, if anybody took a second to just really view you, like, I'm competitive, but I'm respecting everybody.
I respect everybody.
I don't change, right?
Word, and it's not like, and when you see him on the sideline, you could, if you just looking at him, you can say, oh, he probably saying something crazy. But if you there to really, like, sit there and listen, he gonna try to boost you up, he gonna boost him up, and he gonna boost the kid up on the other team. Like, so you can't really, it leaves no space for you to be upset if you're not really gonna take the time to listen to what's going on.
It's a lazy society, though.
It's a classic example of cool. Like, if you, at the end of the day, if you're gonna sit there and you can judge, you can say, all right, he had that, this, that, the third. Forget, I don't care what you think about me. Look at my work. Look at my kids, bro. Look at my kids, the kids' friends that they've attached themselves to, that we've helped. That's it. You gotta like me. I'm cool. I got enough friends. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking for them.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm not, but again, I don't make it about me. You know, and that's what people will see. They were like, how's it not about you because you ran and raved on the sideline? Says, I'm on one because, look, my coach is not that. I'm on one. He ain't gotta be. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a job, man. Everybody got a job.
Everybody got a job. Everybody got a job.
Everybody got a job.
Let's end with this. Again, like I said previously, this high school basketball thing is insane. Like, you could argue that it's not even about basketball anymore.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
People, I ain't gonna lie. I realized that this whole like NIL stuff is like a gift and a curse.
Explain.
I would say that because this NIL has kids and like families basing like their entire, like you would say, future off what they can make in college. Like, I get it. Like in certain circumstances, that's really needed because there's certain times where like everything else can wait. We need that right now. But there's like besides those special operations, those special occurrences, like I would say, like a lot of people have been like, oh, I only want to go here because they're gonna give me $500,000. That's not something to base it off when you're really going there for basketball. Like you're going there to hoop, not just to get a little check throughout the year.
I get it. And I'm not. That was never. I didn't talk to anyone up front about NIL or any visits and none of that. There was one school that I told you. I said, look, man, if we come here on a visit, I'm not even ready to even. We not even gotten to a point where we could talk about NIL. What happened? We get into the thing. First thing you do is talk about, oh, you can be this. I was done. It was over. I had nothing else to say to them. We just finished out the visit because you're completely not listening to what I'm saying. So now you're looking at me and telling me what I tell you isn't enough for you. You're just going to say, all right.
Hold on, because this is really important. You kind of answer this, but I want you to elaborate on it. How are you dealing with the new people, quote unquote, that's trying to come in your life and just trying to
they in
offer
trouble,
this
man.
and like,
Please
for parents.
New parents, please, like these guys that come around when rankings come out or when signing day come, you gotta avoid them. I only mess with people that I've been dealing with. You know what I mean? Like, no time for nothing new, because they're all attaching themselves. They're all looking for a way in. And I understand business is business. Fair exchange is no robbery. You know what I mean? Like, and that's how we dealt with the NIL portion of this thing. There's things we just won't do. You know what I mean? There's certain people that I just won't deal with.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not like they've done anything bad to me. I see it. I know who you are. I watch how that works. I just choose not to put ourselves in that situation for any amount of money. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like you're selling myself short.
Compromise.
I can't ever compromise anything because they watching me, man. They see me do anything or settle short for $1 or sell them short. What are they gonna do? What they gonna think that's okay? Or they'll have them second guess. Oh, well, maybe Dad did do that. I did see him do this back then. Nah, everything has to be 100. You know what I mean? And when these people come in, they all telling you the same thing. Then I tell parents, seek counsel outside of those people that are coming to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is important. Hey, you ever got any questions? Fix your damn face. Because I done been through it the whole way through. Because they don't care, bro.
Why don't we know that though? I mean, just as a person.
I'm gonna tell you what's happening. It is conditioning. So but and I ain't gonna get too deep on this, but we have, like I said, we were all 7th, 8th grade. We all knew each other's parents and our babies is all here. We all want the same thing. We wanted to go to high school. We wanted to go to college. We having our talks over here in the concession stand. All I wanted to do was go to college for free. And that's what we were going through. So then what happens is we allow them, and I say them, outsiders, colleges and schools come and pick amongst us. So then once they pick amongst us, they separate us. And then we become adversarial because you're attached to something. Oh, well, he picked me over here. I played with the scholars. Well, the friends picked me. And you get separated. And when you get separated, you can't fucking communicate. You can't share best practices. You can't, and you create this unnecessary adversarial environment. You know what I'm saying? To me, you can't. You can't do that. It's a failing situation. So you look at what we've done. Look at our team here, man. We got a bunch of Jersey kids. They got rid of the TOC. You know what I mean? Yeah, people, we got together, we're gonna prove and do something special. You know what I mean? With a bunch of guys that played against and together. When have you ever seen that in this modern day of basketball? When you get guys that's gonna come together and play unselfishly together. You know what I mean? Win.
No money.
Win. No, I don't got no budget, bro. I don't got no budget. We just
Great
had a
point.
donor. We just had a donor finish the gym. You know what I'm saying? Just finished the weight room. Man, we've been hit and miss, push-ups on yoga mats. You know what I'm saying? All we got here is love and basketball. You know what I'm saying?
That needs to be said so much.
All we got,
that needs to be said.
when we
and
talk to
emphasized.
these parents, when I talk to these parents, I hold myself accountable for the words that I say to my kids and to the parents of the kids that decide to come to the school, because you know they're gonna come say, well, let me go see what Serg's talking about. Yeah, and then they'll look at me when I start talking and say, really? Yeah, bro. This is what this is. This is how I raise my kids. If you want your kids, we all say, like he said, the 3-letter league. Bro, everybody there can play. So if you want to send your kids to college, you want to play where you want to go in college, everybody else can play. You have 5 all-state players on your team. How you gonna know how to do that if you've never done that?
Right.
How you gonna do that if the situation has always been focused on you?
Right.
Because then you have that other tragedy when you realize that it ain't about you, and due to our lack of coping skills at this age, because we haven't been outside,
Right.
kids, you now stressed out, don't know what to do with yourself. I got 50,000 followers on Instagram and I'm not playing. You know, all my people in the hood, they tell me they watch the game, I'm not playing. Undue stress, unnecessary.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
All of that. They're not even thinking about none of that. You know what I mean? Like, these guys comprise these lists, and you're supposed to be evaluators. Evaluators evaluate what you see. You guys are opinionators. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay. And my thing is, it's okay. Just put it in context. You know what I'm saying? Because
I was about to say it's not okay, but
if you put it in
you got to
context,
put it in context.
If you put it in context,
Who
say,
gave
look, this list right here is not, I'm not comprising this list to say that these are the actual best 100 basketball players, high
Right.
school basketball players right now. They're projecting outwards. So just say that. Because then you want to convince people, and then you're going to do things to convince us that your list is accurate. So you forget I'm watching, bro. You can't tell me. You telling me your kid did what? I was there. And they wasn't. So then, bro, see, but that's the part of it. That's the part of it that where you need parents, or even a mentor or somebody. Even parents need somebody to put it in perspective for them. Because I do all the time. I said, bro, what are you worried about that for? See, because as parents, we're gonna worry about it because our baby's worried about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And most of the time, we're not even going to go into if it's something outside of our normal wheelhouse. We're not even going to go into figuring out how to explain it to them. You know what I'm saying? Like just how to break it down to them
Right.
for it to make sense at the same time.
Right.
Now you said something. Sim came out ranked 8 after his freshman year, right? So what was our approach? What did I tell you? I said, Sim, all right, they gave you that 8. Now we're going to prove it. Now we're going to duck it. Now we're going to go play with Jimmy's Bodega All-Stars and score 40 a night just so we can go, because nobody's going to the game, you can just look at the stats and like, yo, Sim killing. Nah, we're going to go out here, we're going to play 17s. And what we do? Go Peach Jam Final Four, stack team, 9 high major D1 dudes on it. What did they do? They dropped him after that summer. Right? And then call me. Bro, they call me. Drop them, call me. I'm just home from somebody just sent it to me because I don't be looking for that. So somebody sends me the rankings. I'm driving to my nephew's house. He calls me and he asks me, I said, bro, why are you on my phone? I mean, he's like, what you mean, Mr. Wilcher? You know, the rankings came out. I want to know how you feel. I said, do you go to games? Did you see what that boy did this summer? You know what I'm saying? Did you really watch? And then he tells me, he says, well, he didn't play well in Atlanta. But we didn't play in Atlanta. We were stuck in Augusta for 2 straight weeks. Where were you at? You talking to me. These guys didn't even watch him play. He's telling me he didn't play well in a place he was never at. So I give him the business on the phone. And then he calls my AU director. Like that was gonna help him. Like he's the boss of me. He was offended. See, and that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
This is what I'm saying.
Yes.
I said, so when my man calls me, I said, oh, so now you're telling me he's offended about what I said to him on the phone when he called me. How do you think I feel? How do you think my kids feel when he says his nonsense in front of the world? I'm supposed to accept that.
Right.
But he can't accept my opinion on a personal phone call that he made to me. I didn't call him.
Welcome to America.
Nah, man. So at the end of the day, man, if you sit here, if you keep everything family based in my house, man. You know what I'm saying? And they'll tell you I'm the same dude, whether I'm talking about what you gonna eat. It's the same energy, bro. That's the only way it could be. So if you approach everything the same way, every time, you know what I'm saying? If you can't be good, just be consistent. And that was the mantra in the beginning. I was the first one to take him out to play. I said, bro, we're gonna do this every day. We're gonna do something every day to get better every day. So now that's where it becomes. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just be consistent and present.
Man, we could go 2 hours with what you. My mind is racing right now with the things that you just said. But Sim, what's your outlook for this season, man? Before you fortunate enough to go to Chapel Hill, what you looking for this year in totality?
Man, to be honest, I just want to win and have fun with my guys. That's all I could really ask for. Because when we win, we all look good. So that's all I really want to do.
That's
Send me off right. Send everybody else on the team off right.
And set up the future
and then
set
set
up the future.
And then have the young bulls coming in right, because my guy over there, he gonna be a senior next year, so we gotta make sure he's ready to run this thing, not step away.
When I listen to both of y'all in totality, I just had a kid on my show that was like 14, like just struggling with life, but super, super smart, right? And I ended it telling him, like, I'm a different generation than your dad. He's a different generation than me. We're not going to change the world, but y'all are the people, your generation, that actually does have a chance to change the world, but y'all can't do it without people like us because of the information that Brother Serg, is given to you and your teammates. It's so pivotal because there's so many leeches out here that just feel so entitled to your gifts. Yeah. Like it's insane, but whatever. It's America, right? It's fine, But your foundation, bro. Like I don't have to tell you it, but I'm gonna say it on camera. Like, please continue to be that person because you have no idea who you inspiring, what kid is looking at you. A lot of people is not gonna come up and say, Sim, damn, you did this for me and you didn't even know it, or you changed my life and things like that. Like maybe they are, but most people watch, right? They don't come up, they don't even for him, they're not gonna come up and give him his flowers, right? But they're gonna look at how he carry himself. They might look at this video and say like, damn, I need to get my stuff together, or that was great information, right? So please continue to carry yourself the way that you carrying yourself, bro. It's like, we all have the purpose, and your entire purpose is not even to play basketball. It's something totally different, right? Like that's a short time span. Your dad just said he know his purpose, right? We're alive because we all have a purpose, So I appreciate y'all being on the show, man.
Thank you.
Good luck this year and in the future, man. Listen.
Hey, man, and tell them fans come pop out and watch us support this Jersey team with these Jersey kids when we play these guys from all over the country, man. This ain't about who got who or who transferred where or what. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we did this for. Yeah. These guys, them schools, and I'm gonna call them out. You know what I mean? The Mount Verts, the Prolifics, the AZs, all those schools, they want us they would tell them, oh, you got to come here. You got to bring him here for us to for him to play on a national schedule, play a national schedule, be on a national level. Nah. You know what I mean? We finished 4, 6, and 8 last year, depending on who you ask. You know what I mean? In a school with 325 folks.
There you go.
I'm petty. And
there you
now
go.
I'm coming.
That's it.
You know,
Look, he waited to the end of the video.
I was really ducking it. You know what I mean? You know who you are. You know what I'm saying?
He waited to the end of the video. That's who we really know.
Duck me.